What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because for this video we're going to be taking a look at every Sword Art Online Funko Pop that has ever been released. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this because I am a huge Sword Art Online fan. I don't care what people may say, I love this show. I've watched all the seasons, I saw the movie, I saw the spin-off, and I cannot wait to watch the next movie that's going to be coming out this December. So originally, I had hoped to release this video back in September when Funko was releasing most of their SAO Pops to the public. But there was an FYE exclusive that kept getting delayed to the point where it was finally released at the end of October, and I had just gotten the mail this past Monday. Now that we have them all together, we're not going to be taking a look at these new Funko Pops, but we're also going to be taking a look at the very first two Sword Art Online Pops that were released back in 2015. So let's get started. Now before we take a look at the new SAO Pops, let's revisit some of these original Sword Art Online Pops that came out back in 2015. We have the Hot Topic exclusive Kato Pop, and we also have your standard Asana Pop. Now one of the things I like about this Kato Pop is that when you look at him up close, he's got some metallic painting on him, and you can see it on his shoes, his belt, and his shoulder. And when you look behind him, he's also got some small detail of a metallic painting. And one of the things I also like about this particular pop is that they're going for a glowing effect on the swords, hence why the elucidator is blue instead of black. Because in the anime, when he's doing special moves, the swords do glow blue. And that's one of the things I like about this pop. Now one of the things I do also kind of got a nitpick is that in terms of stance, he's just standing there. But other than that, I really like this pop. Moving on to the Asana Pop, well, I do love how this particular pop is very well detailed. You can see it in her costume and her sword as well. One of the biggest problems I have with it though is that this thing is very top heavy, and what I mean by that is that her head is a lot heavier than it looks, and it will cause her body to bend over and fall multiple times to the point where its structural integrity will be compromised. And judging by what you can see right here on the stand that she's given, she's not really given that much room to stand up on. And also when you look on beneath her, she's only got one peg for her to stand on, so that's not going to be very well secured. And given time, and yes, it will happen, her body will bend forward and fall over multiple times. So the best thing for this particular pop is to stay in its box in order to keep its structural integrity. With that being said, despite the problems I have with the standard Asana Pop, I still love it, and seeing these two stand side by side one another is pretty cool. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at the new SAO Pops that just came out recently. So to start things off, let's take a look at the brand new standard Kato Funko Pop that you can find right now online or in stores. And one of the things that I really love about this particular pop is that they addressed the problem I had with the previous Funko Pop, is that they gave him a really cool stance this time. I mean, look at him, he looks fantastic. He looks straight up right out of the anime with his hand stretched out and his sword behind his back. He looks great. Now when you look at this pop up close, he looks even better when you see the small amount of metallic paint they put on him, just like in the previous pop, on his shoes, his belt, and his shoulder. And when you go around him, there is still some small amount of painting on his shoes and the back as well. And when you look at him all around all together, he looks great. The only problem I have though is that his sword is a little bent. I don't know if we can fix that though, but he looks fantastic. I am very happy with this particular pop. Now I will say, while I do love this pop, I do have to admit that the white on his coat is a bit bold by Funko, but it also provides some contrast as well. It does bring out the best of him, in terms of coloring and painting. So aside from that and the little bent on his sword, I'm still pleased with this pop. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at the standard Asana Pop. Okay, first things first, the amount of detail in this Asana Pop is incredible, because when you look at her up close, there's a lot of detail in her as well. You can see it in her clothes, her sword, and you can see there's hints of yellow on her shoulder, which the first pop didn't have actually. And when you look at her from the side, she actually has a good little pose holding her sword. Funny thing is that when I first saw it from this angle, I thought her hand was broken off and I had gotten a defective pop. But when I saw that she was carrying her sheath, I actually was relieved. And when you look at her sheath, there's actually a little bit small detail that the camera can't pick up. And when you look at it from the other side, you can see there's a little bit more detail in the back of her clothing. You can see how they actually pay attention, because looking at it from right there, you can see her back, and there's also a little bit of hints of yellow there as well. Now, one problem that I have with this particular pop is that they still didn't address the same problem that they had with the previous Asana Pop. because after holding this pop, her head is just as heavy as the last Asana Pop, which makes me very nervous down the line because I'm afraid that later on, her head is going to cause her body to bend forward. And when you look at this thing that she's standing on, there's not that much structural integrity, only the fact that she's only got 2 pegs this time instead of 1. So I'm very nervous with this Asana Pop, but I pray to God that they actually fix the structural integrity and that she won't bend over. But only time will tell. But for now, I am very happy with this Asana Pop. So let's take a look at Leafa. Moving on to Leafa, this particular pop may be actually one of the coolest SEO pops in the lineup, because when you look at her up close, the coloring on her is perfect. You can see how the brown, the white, and the green all complement one another on her costume. You can also see there's little hints of yellow as well on her wrists and chest. And when you look at the top of her head, the yellow actually looks pretty well. It's almost kind of got this little lime green effect right there. And when you look at her bow, it actually looks pretty cool. You can see how there's little bits of like a little bit of detail on her bow. And when you look at her from the side, you can see how she got the pointed ears. But what's actually really cool is that they actually gave her some structural integrity, unlike in the Asana Pop. Because now that when she stands, she's not going to bend forward. But I'm pretty sure the people who made this knew that her head was actually going to be too big to hold her body, which would cause her to fall forward. But because they added this little thing right here, now she'll have structural integrity and be able to stand upright and no longer bend forward. And when you look at her from the back, you can see there's also a little bit of like an open area right here where her wings would come out in the anime. And her sword looks pretty cool as well. Looks very well made. So overall, I think this actually may be the coolest SEO pop that we have right now. This is really cool. So if you can find a Leafa pop, get this pop immediately. With that being said, let's take a look at the Asana Box Lunch exclusive. So looking at this box lunch exclusive, I think this Asana Pop right here may be my favorite Asana Funko Pop ever made for 2 reasons. One, the pose looks great. She looks stripped right out of the anime with her hand stretched out, her sword getting ready to strike, just like in the anime where she's getting ready for a fight. I also like how they gave her a little wind effect on her dress. And when you look at it up close, the dress is actually very well made. There's nice little details on her knees, her dress, and there's a little bit hints of yellow as well. Her sword looks really well. And even when you look behind her dress, there's actually really good detail on her stocking and skirt. But what actually makes this pop really cool is the fact that they gave her a firm stand, meaning that this pop will not fall forward. Because even though this pop is a bit top heavy because of her head and hair, the stand that she is given with will prevent this pop from bending over and falling over multiple times. Unlike with the previous Asana Pops, where you had the first one that had a very big head and very small body, which caused the body to bend and fall over several times, which makes me nervous with the new Asana Pop, which her head is also very big, but even though she's got a little bit more of a stance now, I'm still afraid later on down the line she's gonna bend over and fall over and over. But with this pop right here, I am fully believe that she will not fall over because of the stand that she has given. So overall, I am very pleased with this Asana Funko Pop, and you can find exclusively at Box Lunch. With that being said, let's take a look at the final pop in this lineup, and that would be the Kirito Fye exclusive Funko Pop. Moving on to the final Funko Pop of this video, we now have the Fye exclusive Kato Funko Pop, and all I can say is that this thing looks amazing. Looking at it up close, what steals the show is that the fact that he's still got the metallic painting on his boots, his belt, and his shoulder. And I also like they also gave him a little bit of metallic painting on a lucid air as well. And when you look at Dog Repulsor, there's actually some small detailing that actually makes it look pretty cool. I also love the fact that they gave him a little wind effect for when he's jumping. And just looking at this pop in general, he looks incredible and was so worth the wait, because this thing was supposed to be released in early October, but just arrived this past Monday. So I am very pleased with this. And this pop even looks even more cooler when you add Asana next to him. And when you have this pop next to him, they look great. Like they're about to jump into action, just like in the anime. Hang on, let me rearrange these. There you go. This is the money shot right here. This looks incredible. This is why I love SEO, because this is very well made. This looks magical. I'm at a loss of words. Both these pops look great. I'm very pleased with them. And so this is pretty cool. I'm just keep repeating it. This is awesome. I love the painting on these two. They look great. The stances are what make it work. I mean, the fact that they made them look like they're jumping just like in the anime. I think in one particular episode, you see them almost pull the exact same similar pose. This is incredible. I am very happy with this. So this is the Fye exclusive Kirito Pop, and this is the Box Lunch exclusive pop. So before we wrap up this review, let's take a look at all the other pops as well. Here's 2015's Hot Topic exclusive Kirito Funko Pop, and here's also Funko Pop's 2015 standard Asana Pop. Moving to the more recent SAO Pops, we have the standard Kirito Funko Pop, as well as the new standard Asana Pop. We also have the standard Leafa Pop, which just looks incredible, followed by the box lunch exclusive Asana Funko Pop, and finally we have the FYE exclusive Kato Funko Pop. Okay, now that we've taken a look at all these pops, I have several questions for Funko. First things first, why wasn't Yui in this lineup? Based on these new pops, it seems that Funko decided to focus on the very first season of SAO. We have Kato and Asuna wearing their costumes from the first half of that season, and you have Leafa, who's introduced in the second half. But when you think about it, Yui played a part in that season as well, and makes you wonder, why didn't Funko make her in the first place? I could totally see her as an Amazon exclusive. So there you go, Funko. If you're watching this, give us Yui. I mean, come on, she's freaking adorable. With that being said, the next question is, are we going to get more SAO pops in the near future? If so, give us more variety. I would love to see some SAO2 pops. I mean, a Xenon pop? Are you kidding me? That would sell quickly and I would buy that in a heartbeat. Also, Kirito carrying a purple lightsaber, that's the whole reason why I got into Sword Art Online in the first place. And since we're daydreaming, might as well. Funko, if you're watching this, give us some pops from Sword Art Online Alicization. Without a doubt, Sword Art Online Alicization is my favorite season in the entire franchise in general. And I would love to see some pops from that season. I mean, it would be freaking cool to see Kato, Yujiro, and more importantly, Alice, who stole the whole season because, I mean, she's freaking badass in that season. I mean, she gave Asuna a run for her money, and this would be pretty much the icing on the cake. I would buy her pop in a heartbeat. Okay, time to calm down. Let's get back to the main topic. With that being said, I am very happy that Funko decided to give us more SAO pops, and I hope they give us more in the near future. But going back to these pops, these are terrific. The designs are great. I am very happy with them. And if you're an SAO fan like me, you won't be disappointed. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. That was my overall view for every Sword Art Online pop that has ever been released. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get all the latest updates from this channel. I'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.